Hickok 45. You know what you're looking at, some of you. You've seen it here before, but not this gun on the shooting table. This is the carbine version of the Krag-jorganson. It is the 3040 Krag, and I don't know, John and I were talking before y'all showed up here a minute ago about how this might be one of the coolest guns ever made in terms of just the, well, it's historical and it's just neat. I mean, it just is, the way it loads. And you have seen it. This one is the carbine version though. You've seen the full-length rifle version here on the table. It's been, well, a couple of years ago. But since I bought this one, you've just seen it in a little Chapter 2 action. Okay, so I just wanted to get it out and shoot it. And I knew you'd want to see it. You'd want to be here for it. And I just told John, well, let's just do a video. We've not done a video with the carbine. And the carbine version of it is, it's very classic. It's very desirable. It's what some of Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders had, the carbine version of it. And just a handy little rifle. Now, it has its negatives. We talked about that earlier with the other one. It's not a powerhouse. And the bolt is not as strong as a Mauser or the A3 Springfield or anything, which is part of the reason those replaced, this, as well as they are easier to load, faster even than this, and there are lots of reasons we went into already. But you've not seen the carbine, and I fell in love with the Krag a long time ago, and when we borrowed that one, I fell in love for sure, and knew that I would be looking for one. It'd be on my radar, but I wanted the carbine if possible. And they're hard to find, and that's what I ran into. Oh, it's been a couple of years now, I guess, close to it. And so we just used this one in Chapter 2. We didn't have the other one when we were ready to shoot it again. So I had this, but we've not done anything here with it. Thought you'd like to see it. The Krag Carbine. This one is a model 1899. Okay, and this particular gun was made in 1903. So it's one of the last ones made. I think they made them up through 1904. And this one is a later model, of course, still over 100 years, right? For those of you who think I can't do math. Let's load it again. And like I say, I'll link to the other video just for some of you new folks, if you've not gotten back and seen it, because it is really cool the way it loads. So you open that up and you put the rounds in. Federal does not load for this 3040 Krag. It's not exactly, I guess, in high demand. It is around here. Close it up, and has a magazine cutoff. If I put that down, the magazine cutoff, the switch, then it won't pick up a round. We talked about that earlier. Put it up, and it will pick up a round. So let me put my ears on, and let's pick up a round and see if we can hit anything with it. There we go, 30 caliber. Let's go ahead and shoot the propane tank. Oh, well, I can't believe it went through it. Oh boy, a short look at that. Oh boy, when you hear about people saying that the 3040 Krag round is underpowered, that's only in comparison with a 30-06, maybe a Mauser round. I mean, it's got some power, okay? So it's not like it's a 22 long rifle. See if I can pick off that 12-ouncer. Wow. Just blows everything up. Try the red plate. Wow. Doesn't have much of a sight. It's just a little bitty sight. And well, back here's the issue. Not much to look through, but I can see it fairly well. And of course, like I said, a lot of you, as I know, you have an appreciation for these old rifles, whether it's this or an A3 or anything, and just the character, the personality of these old things. You've got to hold one, you got to shoot it, I guess, to thoroughly appreciate that. But they are just wonderful old guns. Made at the Springfield Armory. I think all of these were made at the Springfield Armory, all of the Krag, 3040 Krags. And this is the real Springfield Armory, which is no longer in operation. And it's just so cool. Let's try, I think I've got some of these Bitterroot Valley left. That's what I used to get, and kind of in quantity, but I don't think they load this anymore. I'm not being able to find it, at least. Fortunately, I stocked up on it a little bit so I can shoot this thing occasionally. And then you can find the Remington, the core lock. So basically you're limited, as far as I can tell, to fairly premium ammo for these things. I think the core lock is a premium round, I don't know. But it's about all that's available for the 3040 Krag that you can ever find on the shelf. Unless they're still making it and it's just not around. I don't know. So if you got a 3040 Krag, I know a lot of people just reload them themselves, hand load. Like I say, you got the magazine cutoff. So if you're in battle, you could just load one at a time. Let's put a couple on that target. Somebody might be interested in a Krag-jorganson shot up target. See if I can get a couple in the black for you. Should have out there in the white. There we go. Three's enough. Hey, that one might have broke the orange. Speaking of 2 liters. Woo! I don't know. Something about the Krag that seems to hit them even harder. How about a pot? Yeah, I knew it would smoke a pot. It's not high capacity. No. Take a quick look, close look at that thing. Isn't that wild the way it works? One of the negatives, and I point this out in our original video, is it has one bolt basically where it locks up. It locks up back here too, a lug, but it doesn't have as many lockup points as the Mauser or the Alt-3 does. Okay, so it was considered weaker than they are, and but still got the job done pretty well. The loading was different, considered not quite as desirable as a clip-fed bolt gun, but definitely interesting, isn't that? Look at that. You just throw them in there and they come up. For those of you who, I might have mentioned this before, but the movie To Kill a Mockingbird with Gregory Peck, this was the rifle he used to shoot the mad dog in the movie. I don't know what he used in the book. They didn't say. He just shoots it. But in the movie version of To Kill a Mockingbird, he pulls up a Krag Carbine and shoots the rabid dog. So I remember when I first saw that movie decades and decades ago, I thought that was an interesting gun, but I didn't know what it was at the time. Since then, I've gotten smarter. Can you believe that? I couldn't have gotten any dumber. There we go. Wow, really rang. Sweet. It would work, make a good deer rifle, wouldn't it? Oh, hey, you know what? John's got these 2 liters set up. I don't guess it'd go through this one and take out the other one. 2 liters with 1 shot. I think that's a first, John. We've done that before. We didn't even plan that. Uh-oh, what we got here? I don't know, we'll look at that round. Well, let's just go ahead and look at it. Make sure the round's okay. Did we get something in the chamber? Looks like y'all might learn something with us here. Or you might not. Might just be irregular brass. Irregular on the length. We'll save that brass aside and study it at some point here. That was a Winchester round, so it was not one of the core lock. It was a brass. It was, I guess, used by Bitterroot. Unless I just put these in the Bitterroot box because they were in there loose. I don't recall. WW Super brass. So you got to watch sometimes your brass. I know and I'm not going to pick on Winchester or Federal or Remington or anybody, but I remember when I was loading 4570, I won't charge you for this little extra tidbit. I ordered a bunch of bulk brass 4570, and there were probably like 1 out of 5 pieces of it were too long. I couldn't even use it in my press. So, and I don't know if you buy it in bulk from any of the companies, you get that sometimes, but that could be what that was. I don't know, brass a little bit too long. We'll load him one more time. I know you're in a hurry, but I just wanted you to be here for this momentous occasion. Again, we go into a lot of the details, so I hope you check out the first video. The difference was this is the carbine version of it, and I think for collectors and shooters, maybe more desirable. It was for me, at least. And this one wasn't carried by any of Teddy Roosevelt's men or anything. It was too late. The Spanish-American War was, what, 1898, and I remember it well. But this one was, made a few years later. All right, so cool gun, cool gun. And they went through several variations of it. They weren't dramatically different. The sights were different. Like every year or two of the 10 years of production, there were some really minor changes. And as I understand, some of those parts were not even interchangeable with different, years or generations of it. So they dealt with all that. But pretty cool for the time, as I point out in the other video. If you didn't carry this, you probably carried, say in the Spanish-American War, or during that time period, you probably carried the trapdoor Springfield single shot 4570. So while this might not seem exactly like a high-tech M4 compared with a single shot 4570, it was pretty cool. You could put in 5 rounds and just shoot 5 times. Yeah, that's doing fine. What? Oh, there's a pot left over. And what else needs to be shot? Let's put another one on the paper. Who knows where? And let's go back across the hill. One round left, so let's put a little pressure on me. You know how I hate to stop on a miss. I should have missed just so I could have an excuse to reload it. So anyway, the Krag Carbine, I thought you'd want to see it, and some of you would really get upset. I know when you hear that I've been out here shooting something that you would like to see, you get mad at me. So I wanted to bring you along with it. Again, it's the first time we've had the Krag Carbine, here on this range, shooting it while you were here. Okay, so cool rifle. The cool factor on this rifle is off the scale. You might not think so, but I do. Okay, cool. Life is good.
Hi, I'm Zeke with the Sonoran Desert Institute, and here at SDI, we're extremely proud to be sponsors of the Hickok 45 channel. You may be asking yourself, well, what is SDI? SDI is an affordable, fully accredited distance learning education program. We have an emphasis in gunsmithing and firearms technology. If you decide to become a gunsmith, you'll need to learn proper gunsmithing techniques, and while some people will use an apprenticeship program to gain these techniques, a formal education will ensure an organized, more comprehensive learning environment. But when you choose a gunsmithing school, it's still kind of difficult. So it's very important that you choose a gunsmithing school that meet the following criteria. First, look for a nationally or regionally accredited program. And whether distance learning online or through a brick and mortar ground program, a gunsmithing program should always have a hands-on element. And finally, make sure you look for a school with high student satisfaction. Find reviews online, check out its Facebook or other social media, or get on the same social media sites, find some alumni, and ask to speak with them about their experience. And while we're not at SDI today, I do have some of the firearms I've learned to work on and built myself through the SDI program. So let's go take a look at them. Okay, maybe not. We'll just get seriously. Can I not get a chair that fits me? I'm a big guy, dude. So I guess back to what we were originally talking about. Above all else, find the school that's right for you. It's not always going to be the distance education programs or the brick and mortar ground schools that are for everybody. Just make sure you do your research on multiple options before you make that decision. But if you want more information on our gunsmithing school, just go to www.sdi.edu or call us at 1-800-336-8939.